mace swapping. This is a strategy that combines your sword or axe with the mace by applying the mace's enchantments to the main weapon. By using this with density, you get the damage of a sharpness 5 sword combined with the mace's insane damage output. You can achieve this by switching from a main weapon to a mace last second, right before hitting someone. Next, we have breach swapping, a very popular strategy in PvP. This utilizes mace swapping, but with a breach mace. The main difference between this and mace swapping is that you don't need to fall from any heights to do this. But what if you're trying to mace someone and they use a shield to stop it? Well, there are 2 ways to combat this, and the first is backstabbing. Backstabbing just means to go behind the person to avoid their shield. But the other strategy, stun slamming, is way more consistent, albeit more difficult. This is a strategy where you hit someone with an axe, disabling their shield, and then quickly switch to your mace to get a mace hit, allowing you to effectively hit through someone's shield. A strategy commonly used in PvP is wind charge pearling, where you throw an ender pearl up, quickly followed by wind charge, and then elytra down to mace someone. There are a few other variations of this, but this is a good way to get good distance and one-shot someone. The last strategy I'll go over is firework macing, or using the elytra. This is insanely hard to learn, so it'll take a lot of practice, but once you get it down, it's insanely broken. To do this, you need to equip your elytra, firework up, put on your chestplate to pause your momentum, and then put on your elytra again to regain your momentum, and then take off your elytra just before macing them. This strategy is best used with flight duration 3 fireworks, because a firework will still be on you even after you take your elytra off. My recommendation for fighting is to swap between a breach mace and a density mace. A density mace is used for regular macing from high distances, while a breach mace is used for close quarters, whether it be breach swapping on the ground, or using a breach mace when you haven't fallen too far. Using 2 maces and knowing when to use them is the best way to use the mace. And the final tip I have is to combine everything in this video in each fight.
The first thing we'll be going through is the easiest trick of the book, the cooldown trick. To perform this, all you need to do is to switch to your axe as you're hitting with your sword. This allows you to get the stats of the sword while the nature of the axe. The main purpose of this trick is to disable shield without any drawback, such that you can continue your crit chain or combo. Next, we have draining. By placing a fluid block on the spot that your opponent places water, you can take out one of their water buckets. Fluid blocks includes lava, water, and cobweb. Or to be honest, you can just take away their water with an empty bucket. To counter this, it is essential to practice water placement, or you can just do the infinite water strat. But what if you're trying to web or lava someone, but your opponent keeps dodging your placement? Well, this is where stun webbing kicks in. This is probably the best way you can web the UXC, because it almost guarantees that your opponent will get into a web. It is done by hitting your opponent twice at a quick speed, and then immediately placing a web beneath them. This also eliminates the chance that they go through web due to ping, and can be a great way to start off an encounter. Moving on to healing and hotbar, it is always troublesome since now you have an extra item for healing, and that your hotbar cannot contain all the tools. My recommendation will be keeping both healings in your hotbar by replacing one of your ranged weapons. Same as the old UXC, you should always pre-gap before the game such that you can pressure your opponent more in the beginning. For golden heads, you should always use it in an occasion where there is limited time to heal. Last but not least, I'll be covering playstyle, which is something more conceptual. You should always keep in mind that the damage of melees always outclasses your utilities, and hence making it your focus.